You guys for joining the monthly beYogi webinar series. Today beYogi is joined by Digital Yoga Academy to talk about the Yogiprenueurs Guide to Launching an Online Course. We'll give everyone a couple of minutes to join and then we'll get started.
Yeah, hello everyone. Seeing everyone's names coming in now. There's a few there I recognize. So hey guys, hello.
Small world. We're so far away, yet we're so closely connected. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely. We are a global community. It just shows the power of, being online and teaching online, which is of course what we're talking about today.
It really is. I will tell you this, there's been a big appetite for this type of discussion. We've had a couple of these discussions in the other industries we served. And, I've been truly inspired with everything going on in the world right now, seeing yogi entrepreneurs pivot and turn and open and launch these online businesses and really as we come out of the pandemic, shifting a lot of their focus to their online. But it's just really been inspiring seeing some of these new things, these new creative ideas that have come out of adversity, in my opinion. So very excited for today's topic.
Yeah, definitely. I've been really impressed by the way that teachers have transitioned online and just really taken action, and they've not held back. And quite often, just from my experience within my own community, I know a lot of teachers have been wanting to teach online for so long and just kept getting held back by all the fears and everything else. And I think the pandemic kind of just really pushed everyone into action, which has been really great to see.
Yeah, it's funny how events can change fear into bravery in some way.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, lots of people joining, which is amazing. Perhaps we could get everyone to share where they are in the comment box, in the chat box.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, share your location, everyone. Share where you are, what town, what city you're in, what country you're in.
I see Alexis Truitt said, hi, Kelly and Joe. So hello, Alexis.
Hey.
Claire from London, Molly from Amarillo, Texas. Wow, we have folks from Bermuda to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, amazing. Let's see how global we are.
We'll give it about 30 more seconds and we'll get started here.
Yeah.
Everybody put this information in.
It really just shows, there's no better way to share your message than to share it online.
That's very true.
People all over the world.
All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and get started. There might be a few people that end up joining, but again, we always record these sessions. We post them, we send them out. So if you missed the beginning of it, you can always go back and rewatch it. So anyway, let's get started. So thank you everyone again for joining. Today, we're privileged to have Kelly McHugh from the Digital Yoga Academy join us to talk about the Yogiprenueurs Guide to Launching an Online Course. So today, we're going to discuss what it really takes to create and launch a profitable online yoga course. So in this webinar, we'll cover how to start taking imperfect action when you don't know where to start, and the first steps to creating a potentially even higher priced yoga offering outside of the studio, plus the top 3 mistakes yoga teachers make when creating and launching their first online yoga course. So I'm Joe Fagan. I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships for beYogi. beYogi offers membership programs for yoga instructors, and we provide that needed liability insurance, business and marketing tools and resources, as well as member benefits and industry discounts for yoga instructors. Keep in mind, we're doing these webinars the first and third Wednesday of every month, so please keep joining and sharing these events with your community. Again, we just started this recently, so they should continue to improve, but we appreciate all of the great feedback that we've gotten. And by the way, in reference to that feedback, if there are any topics of interest to you, please let us know. We'll try to build these programs around the wants and the needs of the yoga community. And you can always go to beyogi.com to check the current schedule of topics we have and to register for any upcoming events. So now I'd like to introduce you to Kelly McHugh. Kelly McHugh is the founder of Digital Yoga Academy, which is the leading online provider for yoga business education. With a background of over 15 years in global marketing, Kelly's expertise has reached over 30,000 yoga teachers worldwide, helping them build sustainable and profitable yoga businesses. She's a fully trained yoga teacher and entrepreneur, or yogipreneur, if you will. So she truly gets the challenges that comes with teaching yoga and what it really takes to grow a successful yoga business. If you're a yoga teacher with an entrepreneurial spirit, but are struggling with the overwhelm, Kelly knows exactly what you need to do to get your yoga business to the next level. Now, remember, we'll be answering questions. Sometimes we answer questions as we go along. I think for the purpose of this, since Kelly has so much information, maybe save questions to the end as best you can. But we'll try to save 10 to 15 minutes at the end for additional Q&A. So submit any questions you have in the Q&A or chat. Of course, any questions we can't answer today, we'll do our best to get answered, and we'll send it out to everyone after the event. But now I'll hand it off to Kelly to get things kicked off. Kelly.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much. What an intro that was. Thank you, everyone. I'm really, really pleased and happy and excited to be here with you all today. And yeah, today's session really is a little bit of a crash course into creating a digital asset, okay, in your business. And by that, I mean an online yoga course. And most yoga teachers, and this you might be yourself, you know, most yoga teachers either teach in studios, okay, so you're teaching for someone else, or they're setting up their own in-person classes, workshops, maybe even retreats, perhaps even an online course. So share with me now which one you are. You know, are you teaching? Let's go for A. So A is you're teaching just in yoga studios. B, you're offering your own offerings as well. So do share A and B, or A or B. Let's have a look, see where we're at. And I think, you know, going online and creating an online yoga course, it's a different business model. You know, it's a different business model, and with it brings lots of benefits in terms of being able to reach more people, just as we are here today. Also lifting the ceiling of the income potential that you have in your business, creating more freedom, more flexibility, and no longer having to trade your time for money. And of course, these things, they don't happen overnight. You know, going online is about you creating a sustainable yoga business. It's one that you can keep teaching for years and years and years and years to come. So let's have a look. So lots of B's, A's and B's. Yeah, a real mixture. Yeah, nice, guys, really nice. Keep it coming. So also share with me in the comments, like, how does it feel to create the success that you want in your yoga business? Like, how does it feel to visualize yourself a year from now having successfully launched your online yoga course? Because that's why we're here today. We're here today to learn about creating and launching online yoga courses, creating that digital asset, as I said, in your business. Okay, so tell me, feels amazing, exciting, exhilarating, keep them coming. And as I said, you're getting a bit of a crash course today. So let's just start then with what it really takes to create and launch a profitable online yoga course. And I want to ask you guys, like, who here is actually teaching online at the moment? So by this, I mean teaching in Zoom. So who here is teaching in Zoom, or maybe you're using another platform? Do let me know in the comments. Yeah, put your hands up if that's you. And perhaps, you know, many of you here have been doing it for the first time since the pandemic, yeah, as we talked about before. Maybe you were doing it before, but, you know, creating an online yoga course, which is what we're talking about today, and teaching on Zoom are two different things, yeah? They're two very different offerings, and with two very different price points, yeah? And they require you as a yoga business owner, which is what you all are, to have a very different mindset. So what we have to remember is that everything that we do in our business involves two things. It involves strategy and it involves mindset. And when it comes to the strategies that we need to use in our business to move our community from our Zoom classes, which might be, let's say, a $10 offering, to an online yoga course, which could be $300, $400, or perhaps even more, you need to understand who you're selling to. And you need to ultimately understand what the transformation is that you're selling, and be able to craft that offer in a way that really makes your audience, your community, feel like you're reading their mind, yeah? And I think when it comes to mindset, it's really about you stepping into your power, being 100% sold on what you have to offer. And it's about confidence, because you've done that work to understand what your audience need from you, and you validated it. So when we talk about imperfect action, I really want you to come to this embracing imperfect action, because when things don't go to plan, which when you're running your business, things don't always go to plan, but if we see that as failure, we start to get stuck. Does that make sense? And I think, if we start to see those failures or mistakes as opportunities, it gives us the chance to learn and to improve and to enable us to really move forward. So mindset is so important. It's so, so important as we start to level up in our business, and moving beyond a Zoom class, moving beyond your Zoom online class and moving beyond that towards an online course is about you leveling up. And, when we do that, we have to make big shifts. Yeah, we have to make big shifts. We have to, when we level up, quite often we put things in our way. Okay, so do tell me if you're resonating with this. When we're doing new things in our business, we can make all of the excuses in the world. Yeah, we create all of these distractions for ourselves. And, believe me when I say this, that you only get to this part of moving through your comfort zone, moving to the next stage in your business when you're ready. And moving from just offering that Zoom class to creating a goal in your business to create and launch an online yoga course, it's a big shift. It's a really, really big shift. So are you guys ready for that? Are you ready for that big shift? Do share in the comments if you're ready for it. Are you ready to create an online yoga course? Because, right now the world is online. The world is going crazy for online learning and education. So the actual online education industry is a $400 million per day industry. And that industry is expected to triple in the next 5 years, which is crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. So, we have to remember that when you look at online education, when you look at online courses, there's courses out there in almost every single topic imaginable. Jam making, calligraphy, there's everything. Every topic around business, every topic you can imagine, there are courses out there. And quite often, I hear teachers say to me, why is someone going to take a course in yoga because they can find it on YouTube? Yeah, we heard that one, or have we thought that one? Probably you have. And the thing is, we can find everything on YouTube. You can find absolutely anything that you want online. But the thing is, there is value in how you present your content. But not only that, how you order it in a step-by-step framework that leads and guides your students to the transformation that they desire. Okay, it's really important that we understand that, because this isn't about throwing together some classes. Yeah, this isn't about the classes, the standalone classes that you find on YouTube and just throwing them together in a course and then hoping that someone's going to buy that. This is about you presenting your content in your way in a step-by-step framework that leads someone from point A, which is their challenge or their issue, their struggle, their pain point, leading them from that point to point B, which is the desire, where they want to be, the outcome, the transformation. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a yes or a no. Do let me know. Give me some feedback if that's making sense. Because when you can do that, when you get to that stage, and believe me, it takes time to get to that stage, okay? There's work to be done in order to get to that stage and to have real clarity and confidence that you're creating something that's transformational. It's life-changing for your students and it's life-changing for you. Building a digital asset in your business is life-changing, okay? So the other thing to say here is what we're doing here is we're lifting the ceiling in terms of what's possible in terms of income, okay? Income generation. Because if you have a business that solely relies on in-person events, classes, retreats, and I do have another business. I have another business called Good Yoga Life, which I've been running for 5 years. It's a successful events and retreats business. And earlier this year, I hosted retreat number 25 in Bali. I've made some good money in that business, right? But when you look at those accounts, there's a lot of costs involved, you know, to run retreats, venues, food, teams, all of these things. There's a ceiling to what you can earn if all your offerings are in person, okay? So if you're not using the opportunity to reach more people and reduce your costs, you know, when you take your offerings online, or when you add a vertical in your business, which is an online yoga course, that ceiling is removed and that the possibilities there can become limitless. Obviously, you have to be persistent, you know, with this. You have to be consistent. You have to know the framework to creating and launching an online course, but it's all possible. Okay, let's have a look at the comments, see if there's anything coming in. So I think that's what I really want to start with today, is just to really understand the opportunity here, the opportunity that we have when we make that shift, that big shift, to take our classes, to take our business online, not just our classes, but to move beyond that and really put in the work here to create something that's truly valuable for our community. So, you know, it's about creating a bigger impact in the world ultimately. And that's, you know, that's why we're yoga teachers, right? That's why you're a yoga teacher, because you want to help people with their lives. You want to help them to move through their challenges and struggles with the practice of yoga. And really it's about creating impact in the world. So, you know, perhaps you've been thinking of doing this, but maybe you're feeling like you don't really know where to start, you feel a bit stuck. You know, there's lots of things to consider here, isn't there? How you're going to create this, how you're going to create something that's truly valuable, how you're going to record and edit all of your videos to make it look really professional, how you're going to build your online community. Yeah, how are you going to find people online? All of these things, how you're going to be more visible, how you're actually going to launch your course. It can be very overwhelming when you start to think about it. And, you know, as someone who's been creating courses now for the last few years, I've really learned to break down that entire process into simple steps. And so when you have a framework like that, you know, you don't really need to know what you need to know. You just need a framework and some support to help you with that. And I think, whilst it's true that you need a framework, any guesses to what it actually takes to successfully create and launch an online yoga course? Any guesses, guys? What does it actually take? So this is the first part of today's session. Like, what does it actually take to do this? What does it actually take to do this? Because it's not the framework. It's not the framework. Let's have a look.
The answers that have come in with confidence.
Yeah, they're coming in, showing up. Yeah, guys, this is amazing. Mindset, yeah, all of these things that you're saying. Mindset, determination, persistence, showing up, all of these things. It takes you. It takes you. It takes you to be able to do this. Definitely takes you. And the reason, you know, so many business owners or so many yogipreneurs like struggle with this is because they're not actually thinking and acting and behaving like a business owner. That's it, really. That is it. And, you know, by that, they're not making the decisions that a six figure or whatever you want to call it. I mean, six figures gets bashed around quite a lot, doesn't it? But doesn't make the decisions that a successful business owner makes. Yeah. And it really is as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. You know, when you're taking the decisions of, say, an employee and not the business owner, and it means that, you know, we have to accept that there are risks that we would take in our business. We have to be prepared to take risks, and we have to accept that there are tasks in our business that maybe are better delegated to someone else. Or accepting that we actually have to invest and pump some money into our business. You know, if we stay in the mindset that we don't have to invest in our business, or we don't take risks, or whatever it might be, you know, in order to grow, then we're not going to grow. So it really is as simple as that. And I think, you know, if you've been struggling to take your business to the next stage, you know, there's some changes that we need to take, or some changes that we need to make. And this is why, again, it really comes back to your mindset. Is so, so, so important. And I think, you know, just really believing that that there are the possibilities there are there for us. You know, it's like, what is possible? What is possible? Anything's possible, right? So we have to believe it. We have to stop playing small. And, you know, I think for those of you that come in my trainings, and I've seen lots of you here from my community, but you know, I talk about mindset all the time because it's so important and it's such an ongoing job. You have to work on it daily. You really, really do. And that is what it takes to do this, right? That is what it takes to do this, because this isn't a quick rich scheme, you know, get quick rich scheme. It's really not. There's hard work that goes behind creating and launching an online course. But the great thing about it is you do all of this hard work up front, and then you can launch your course again and again and again and again. Okay. So I think someone said something. Let's have a look. Let me just go back. Where is it? Someone said, okay, what are the ways we can generate passive income? This was Jennifer. And I don't like to use the word passive because it's not really passive, right? It's not really passive. You know, a lot of coaches, you'll hear them talk about generating passive income. It's not passive, guys. You know, it's hard work. We have to be persistent and we have to keep showing up. And for those of you interested in, you know, creating an online course, that digital asset in your business, I want you to launch it live. I don't want you to be in the mindset of, oh, I'm going to create this course, stick it on my website, and people are just going to buy it, and I'm going to be going to sleep and waking up in the morning and there's going to be money in my bank account. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, I'm here to tell you, lay it on the table right now. It does not work like that. I want you to launch your course live. By that, I mean, you know, there's an enrollment open period, the doors open, and for a period of time, people can join, the doors close, and then you start your group all on the same day. You start together, you run through the course together in a live way. Yes, there'll be pre-recorded content, but you'll be showing up live as well. And I want you to do that over and over and over and over again, so you get really, really good at launching. And then maybe in a year's time, after you've done that, maybe you might think about putting that course onto Evergreen, okay? Which means it's not requiring you to do the live work, okay? People can come and enroll into it, you know, as a home study course. You only put things onto Evergreen when you've gone through that process multiple times and you've learnt multiple times from that process. And even then, you'll still be doing launch phases to drive traffic to that evergreen course that you've got going on here. So it's never really passive. You've still got to show up. Like, you've still got to show up and do the work and, you know, put yourself out there and show yourself as the expert in your niche. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that point about passive income. So, you know, I think mindset and this is what it requires. It requires you. It really, really does, to move beyond, you know, the self-doubt, you know, to get the confidence to take a chance, to really step up. Yeah. So I think, you know, the ability to take risks, so important. You really need to be able to push yourself out of your comfort zone, to try new things, to innovate, be prepared to jump onto your projects 100%, because if you don't, you can't expect that success to come easily. And, you know, this means we need to put our fears aside, yeah, which can be hard, but know this, every single fear that you have here is not, they're not new fears. We all have the same fears. Yeah, they're not recycled in a sense. But also, lastly, just to say, you know, start to see your business like a laboratory. Yeah, there's a lot of testing happening here. We're mucking up, and it's okay, because when we do that, we learn from those mistakes, and I really welcome that. You need to be able to learn. And I think a lot of teachers that I see in my community, they get stuck. And one of the reasons they get stuck is because they're not prepared to take imperfect action. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. The point is, every time we move forward, we're moving forward and we're learning. So we don't need to get stuck. Yeah, we don't need to be in that place of feeling stuck if we're just continuing to learn and seeing our business like that. Okay, so failing is always part of the process, right? That's it, isn't it? Failing is always part of the process. And I think eventually you get to a point where you've launched so many times, you've launched your course so many times that you start to see what's working, and you can then decide, you know, how you move forward from there. So I focus so far, you know, very much around mindset. Yeah, so far what we talked about is around mindset. And it's the mindset, as I said, you know, mindset really is like 80% of what we do. You know, we need to have the right mindset. And then 20% is really the strategies, because no kind of foolproof strategy is going to work unless we've got the right mindset for it to work. And, you know, it's that when we start moving into strategies, to attract our ideal students and to convert our community into paying students, there's always some first steps to take, okay? Especially if we're moving beyond the Zoom class, like we talked earlier. We talked about, you know, you guys, lots of you here are creating, you know, you're already running your Zoom classes, but we're moving beyond that. So there's some first steps to take. And one of the first questions you might have is like, well, what do I know what to create? You know, I want to create an online yoga course, but what should I create? So share in the comments, do you guys actually have any ideas for your online yoga course? Do you already have any ideas for your online yoga course? Yes, yes. And even if you have an idea, you can share your idea as well. Perhaps even share your idea. So I think, you know, lots of teachers can struggle with this. Lots of teachers do struggle with this. Yeah, okay. So what we've got, Jodie says for recovery and addiction, we've got combining yoga and Ayurveda, heart-led healing circle. Yeah, lots of ideas. Amazing, amazing, guys. So the thing is, it's like, a lot of teachers struggle with a process to actually create something that's going to be well received by their community. And when this happens, it can result in creating offerings that don't fill up. Okay, so we put something out there, and this goes for any offering. You know, it might not be just your online yoga course, but maybe even retreats or workshops. And what happens when we don't fill our offerings up? What happens? What tends to happen is that we end up relying on the studio model. We end up going back to, or staying in that place where we're just teaching in studios. And we need to teach a lot of classes, you know, to each week to be able to pay our bills at the end of the month. And that can be exhausting. And unfortunately, that's, you know, the reality for many yoga teachers. You know, they end up really just relying on the studio model because they don't understand who their students are, or they don't understand what their students actually want from them. So then they struggle to create offerings that people actually want to buy. Does that make sense? So I think, you know, the answer to this is we need to be really super clear. We need to be super clear about who our ideal students are and essentially what our niche is. You know, what is the message that we're sharing with these people? And these are our people. So does everybody here know? Do you guys understand? And have you defined who your ideal student is? Or have you defined what your niche is? And again, feel free to share what that is if you have that information, if you have it. So this is actually the first step. You know, this is the first step to be able to create that higher priced offering. To be able to create a higher priced offering, such as an online yoga course, the first step is that we need to do the work around who our ideal student is. Yeah, what is our niche? Who are our ideal students that we want to attract into our community, and what is their struggle? Like, what is their main challenge? Because when we understand this, as I said before, you know, we can then start to create an online course that's going to take them from that point A, that struggle, to point B, which is where they want to be, which is the transformation or the desire where they want to be. So, you know, how can you do that? How can you do that if you don't know who your people are? If you don't know who you're marketing to? If you don't know who your message is, or even worse, you don't know what your message is, how can you do that? You can't. You can't create something that people are going to want to need. And so this really brings me nicely onto the last part of today's kind of crash course session, which is the 3 mistakes. The 3 mistakes that teachers make when they're wanting to create and launch an online yoga course, when they're wanting to build this digital asset in their business. And as I said before, when we were talking about mindset, you know, mistakes and failures are an important part of the journey. That's how we learn, okay? So it's great to be able to, for you guys to be able to learn these 3 mistakes that I'm sharing with you today, because these are 3 mistakes that I see lots of teachers making. You know, some of these mistakes I've made myself, okay? So, you know, I think remember here, what we're doing here is we're creating an online course that's going to provide a real transformation. Okay, so it's offering immense value beyond that of a streamed yoga class. Okay, so this is something that you can sell again and again and again. That's really where I want all of you to be in your yoga business, to have this asset in your business. And you know, I'm confident now, after a few years doing this, with this being my main business model, that I've cracked that code on the steps that you need to take to create that and build that asset in your business. And I've made mistakes learning all of this. Yeah, I've made mistakes along the way. And the first mistake that I'm sharing is definitely a mistake that I made early on in my business. Okay, when I first launched Digital Yoga Academy. So mistake number 1 is not growing an audience or a community for your online course, and instead jumping headfirst into creating your online course. So this is exactly what I did. This is exactly what I did. I was so excited about creating my online course, I jumped straight into it. And probably for you guys, if I'd asked you the question before, I should have asked you, I can ask you now. You know, when I say to you like, oh, okay, let's visualize, you want to create an online course, you want to launch an online course, what's the first thing that you're going to do? Because when I've asked this question before, the answer that I get back is, oh, create the online course, create all the content. Actually, I'm going to create the course. And actually, that's the mistake. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. And as I said, it's something that I did in my business. You know, my focus, because I was so excited about creating this course, my focus was not on building my community. It was on creating my course and getting it out the door. And, you know, a few things happened. Because I had no audience, I didn't really know who my ideal student was. And because I had no audience, I wasn't able to validate the idea. Yeah, I wasn't able to validate my course idea. And because I had no audience, no one bought my course. Okay. So this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And as I said, I made it. And, you know, lots of teachers kind of spend the first few years of their business just kind of taking shots in the dark, hoping that someone's going to magically find them. And, you know, what I need to tell you today really is like, no matter how good your teaching is or how good your topic is, the only reason, and write this down if you've got a pen and paper, which I hope you have, the only reason that someone is going to purchase your course is because they want the transformation, the outcome. I've mentioned it a few times already, and I've mentioned it a few times already because it's so important. That is the only reason. They are buying the transformation. This isn't a load of classes we've just stuck together, yeah, to put into a course. This is about you really creating something incredible, incredible value to guide someone to that transformation. It's the most important part of your course. And you can't know what that is unless you have a community to ask. and get feedback from, and to do that research and validation work, because there's a number of things that you need to do in order to get to that point where you're 100% confident and you have real clarity about your course idea, and understand that or clarity around the fact that people actually want it. Yeah, you want to be in that place. You really, really want to be in that place, because when you are, it's a totally different kind of experience. When you're incredibly confident about creating a course that your audience wants and needs. Does that make sense? That's something I really want to hit home with today, because it's so important. So before you put your heart and soul into anything, which I know you will, make sure your community need it and want it. And to do that, you need to grow your community first. So you need to spend a good chunk of time, energy, and effort on growing your community. Yeah, attracting people in, using email marketing, having a website, being visible, creating partnerships, collaborations, all of these things that are going to allow you to get your message out there and bring people into your marketing funnel. Okay, you may have heard people talk about that in the past. And really, essentially, that's about you getting people on your email list. Yeah, so having a freebie, an opt-in freebie, getting people onto your list. So we need to be doing that work first. Yeah, and if we don't do that work first, it's a big mistake. We need to grow our community, guys. Okay, it's really, really important. So mistake number two is not approaching your course creation process and launching process. Actually, say that again. It's not approaching your online yoga business, yeah, with consistency and persistence. So we need to be consistent and we need to be persistent, okay? So by consistency, I mean habits, yeah, creating habits in our business. It's really important. Like what might seem insignificant when it's only done once can actually become quite significant when it's done again and again and again. So really ensuring that we're looking at our business and creating habits for success. And this is really important because we all get distracted, right? We all get distracted, we get overwhelmed, we lose track. And especially with something like creating and launching an online course, as I said before, it's hard work. There's a lot that goes into it. And, I think if you're just getting started with this type of business model to bring this new vertical into your business, being consistent is difficult. Like it's difficult if you don't have a framework or you don't have accountability or support to really stay on track. And not enough teachers are doing this. They're not being consistent enough. And so the second part of this is really about persistence. Okay. So as I said before, creating and launching an online course is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, it's not. You do all of that work up front, all that hard work to grow your community, to speak to them, to understand what they want, to get research, to validate your ideas, to create the course, to get everything set up in terms of all the tech and the hosting, to understand how to launch the course, the process. There's a step-by-step process involved in actually launching a course properly. All of that, is hard work, but you do all of it up front. And then you sell your course again and again and again. Okay, so it's really about building a sustainable yoga business, one that's going to allow you to move out of that studio model, which we all know is also hard work, right? So many teachers out there that are teaching 15, 20 classes a week, hustling and riding around town on the overground or the underground or whatever it is, commuting around town, studio to studio, and not having enough time to even work on their business because they're teaching all the time and not getting very well paid for it. So we know that that doesn't work either. That leads to exhaustion and burnout. And there's another way, there is another way to do this. And, you might be starting with zero right now. I started with zero. but the rewards can be really huge, really huge. And if you really believe in this and you're fully connected to your purpose, like I am, and you're consistent and persistent, i.e. you don't give up, you can do this too. You know, it requires dedication, hard work, a lot of learning, consistency, being persistent. It requires you to show up, to really show up for your dreams and getting out of that kind of 20 class a week scenario. So that's really what it's about. But ultimately, it's about creating a bigger impact, you know, creating a bigger impact in the lives of your students, in your own lives, having more freedom, you know, extra income, all of these incredible benefits that can come with creating and launching your online yoga course. So I think, you know, it's understanding that there's always going to be setbacks and embracing those setbacks as you move forward, and just having, you know, connecting to your purpose, guys, you know, connecting to why you are a yoga teacher, why you get out of bed in the morning to really share what you love to share with people and support people and help people. There is nothing wrong, like there is nothing negative about what you do as a yoga teacher. And I think we can all firmly say, you know, the world right now needs the message of yoga, needs your support, needs your help. So showing up, you know, we have to get over our fears, and we have to make our own message much bigger than our fears. We really, really do. Okay. So always connect to your purpose with, you know, absolute intention. Okay, let's move on to the last mistake. So mistake number three. I'm just seeing this here. Shay says, yeah, tired of teaching so many in-person classes. I'm sure lots of you are. So mistake number 3 is really about, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, thinking and acting like a business owner. But mistake number 3 is not investing in yourself and investing in your business. Okay, so you know, when we think like a successful business owner, when we have that hat on, we invest, whether it's in our knowledge, whether it's in people, whether it's in systems to automate our business. All of these things, in order to grow, in order to truly grow, you must invest. Okay, and think of it like this. You've already invested thousands on your teacher trainings, right? So how much, let's all share in the comments, how much have you invested to date on yoga teacher trainings? How much have you invested? Like, have you tallied that up? Because I see it over and over, you know, teachers going on training after training after training, and they're still struggling. And it's not because they don't have the teaching skills, because they clearly do, but it's because they don't know how to connect with their ideal students online. They don't know how to grow their communities and how to be consistent in building their business in a sustainable way. Yeah, thousands. Yeah, 3,000, 5, 7, 6. Yeah, thousands, 8.5. Exactly. Keep it coming, guys. Wow, 50,000 over 30 years. So, you know, now we need to make that investment work for us. You know, we need to make that investment that we've already spent, we've already paid into actually becoming a yoga teacher work for you financially, energetically, and sustainably. So, you know, whether that's investing in, you know, perhaps getting a few hours a week in virtual assistant support to support you with the admin side of your business, or maybe to help you with your social media, or perhaps to, you know, upgrade your email service provider, or, you know, invest in Teachable so you can host your online course, or invest in lead pages, or whatever it might be, you know, systems, not helping your knowledge, your business knowledge. All of these things are going to help you to grow, you know. And I think, you know, if you're always tied up with admin, let's say, how can you have the time to work on your online course? Yeah. And I think sometimes, and I'm speaking from experience here, like everything I'm sharing with you today, I'm speaking from experience. Their challenges, their fears, their all of these things that I've gone through myself. And sometimes, you know, it can feel like you're forking out on something and you're not getting instant rewards. And it can feel like an expense, or it can feel like a risk. But when you are fully connected to your purpose and your why, like I said before, and you really want to do this, you really want to create and launch an online yoga course, it's going to pay off and reward you. Everything that you invest in yourself and in your business always comes back to you over and over. I've invested thousands into my business and it always comes back. And I think, you know, again, this is about breaking through mindset blocks around investing in yourself and investing in support, you know, building a team or whatever it might be, wherever you are in your business, you know, not having any regrets about it, because when you start to do it, when you shift into that space, you'll always see that it flows back to you. So it's really about mindset again. It's really about mindset there. So yeah, so I think that's the final one of the 3 mistakes, is really just not investing in how you grow your business and move forward. And let's have a look. So yeah, shared lots with you there shared lots there with you guys today. But do share with me now, like, what has been kind of the key learning from today so far? Like the biggest kind of aha moment that you've had from what I've shared with you over the last 40 minutes, more or less 40 minutes. Any key piece of knowledge or kind of nugget of wisdom, focusing on the transformation. Mistake number 1, growing your community. Yeah, love it. Growing your community first. Massive value. Imperfection is okay. Love it. You've been listening, guys. Well done. Believe in yourself. Making the course live before evergreen. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of things. Being okay with investing in yourself. Brilliant. Well done. Amazing. So a lot of what I talked about today, I teach in my programs. And before we go on to the Q&A, I'm just going to share with you guys in the chat. I'm going to share with you. Bear with me one moment. I've just lost the link. I'm going to share with you the link to the Profitable Yoga Teacher Program. Now, enrollment is actually just closed. It's officially closed. But for you guys here today, I'm giving you a last minute opportunity to join. And I'm also giving you a $500 discount, a beYogi $500 discount. So, one second. If you pay in full, that's the promo code there. Can everyone see this okay? And if you pay by the payment plan, that's the promo code there. So after today's session, go and check it out. And if it's for you, you can send me a message on Digital Yoga Academy. If you have any questions, I'm happy to support you. But if it's for you, there's the link. And really, it's the step-by-step framework that I've kind of talked about today. You know, and what I'll say here is, like, when you follow a step-by-step framework or a program, can everyone, do you know what? I've shared it to panelists rather than everybody. Bear with me one second. Sorry. 1 second. Here we go. There you go. When you follow a program or a step-by-step framework with someone that you trust, okay, someone that you connect with, and someone's walking you through all of that process, all of the lack of confidence around not knowing what you're doing melts away, okay? So just know that even if you feel like right now you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what the next step is or anything like that, before you embark on this big goal, such as creating an online yoga course, if you find someone to support you with it, you're totally golden, okay? So please do check it out. And, you know, even if you decide not to join me, I have so many resources. Like, I can talk about this stuff, online courses, for days and days. I have so many resources on my website, Digital Yoga Academy, and also in my Facebook group as well. So do take a look. But if you have any questions, please do reach out to me directly. You can do that on Instagram, Digital Yoga Academy, or on Facebook, or Kelly at digitalyagaacademy.com as well. So shall we open it up for a Q&A? How are we doing? Here's my email address, guys, as well. There you go. I know I've shared a lot today, guys, so quite a lot to take in. But if you've got any questions, please do do ask. So how are we doing? How are we doing, Joe? Any questions for us? Let's have a look.
Yeah, no, in fact, we'll watch some of these questions roll in. I just want to say thank you so much for that. Not only was the topic so meaningful, and I took a bunch of notes too. I learned quite a bit. I really enjoyed, and this is me as a neophyte webinar host, I really enjoyed how you are so good at engaging the audience, asking them questions, and then providing feedback and kind of relaying your message based on that feedback. I learned a lot today.
Thank you.
Thank you. But a couple of things that really resonated with me in your discussion, the biggest one was lifting that ceiling on income generation. I really love how you frame that, because you're right. I mean, you look at traditional yoga businesses, whether they're face-to-face or whether you're doing retreats, you're right. There's a ceiling, there's overhead, there's a lot of cost, there's a maximum amount of money you could potentially make from each of those engagements. And then opening your business to a global marketplace, to a global audience, completely changes the game. I love how you took that and then you broke it down, or that you break it down into simple steps, because it's a big task changing the way you do business. But if you take it and break it down to simple steps, I can look and apply that to so many things in my life. So I just really appreciate that type of advice. I thought that was great. It looks like we do have some questions rolling in, so I'll let you take those.
Yeah, let's have a look here. So from Sanjeet, let's have a look. They say, platform suggestions. We have 50 video classes available, 10 live streamed classes per month, 10 live streamed workshops planned for fall and spring. We looked at Kajabi, but the 15 class limit doesn't work. Okay, one sec, 15 class limit. Oh, so they have, right, okay, so they have a 15 class limit on Kajabi. Have you looked at Teachable at all? So you've got 50 video classes. So this is more like a membership. This is more like a membership, I'm guessing, that we're talking about here. Rather than an online course as such, but more like a membership is what I'm thinking. So another platform that I know that supports this, it supports live streamed classes, and it also has what's called library content, libraries, where you can upload pre-recorded content. So that would be your 50 video classes available, I guess, is called Instabook. So have a look at that. I think the URL is try Instabook. Try that. But also, if you email them and quote DYA, you get a 20% discount. So, but yeah, you can do it. You could do that through them. I think what you're asking for would work. Let's have a look. So could you give examples of how to make live a course that was fully designed for Evergreen? Yeah, okay. So you've already designed a course for Evergreen. So to make it live, you need to have, like what I said before, a launch process. So which would be over a number of weeks, where you are providing educational content. Maybe you're doing a live challenge for people to come into, and at the end of that live challenge, you open the doors for enrollment. And then you typically have, say, a 10 to 14 day enrollment period. And at the end of that period, you close the doors. And then soon after that, the program or the course would start on the same day. So it's very similar to what I've just done for the Profitable Yoga Teacher. We closed enrollment at the weekend, and the program is starting on the 1st of September. Okay, so everybody's starting at the same time. Now in that program, which is kind of what you probably have, if you've already designed it for Evergreen, I'm guessing you're going to have pre-recorded content, right? So it's the same for me. I have pre-recorded content, which the teachers will be able to access over time, over the 6-month period. But what you need to do to make it live is add live elements to it. So that could be where you would have maybe everybody coming into a Zoom class once a week. It could be Q&A sessions inside a Facebook community. A Facebook group is a really great thing to add to your live program as well, to really support that community. But essentially what you're doing here, when you have a live program versus an evergreen program, the additional that you're offering here, the additions to it, are the accountability and the community. Okay, so by having live access to you, you can actually charge more. You know, you can charge more, you can increase the price if it's live access to you. But also having access to a community who are also all going through the program at the same time, that really adds to the accountability aspect of it. I actually much prefer a live program to an evergreen program. Like, I have courses that teachers can purchase at any time, like home study courses. And from over the years, my experience of that, I've really found that student success, i.e. students getting to the end of the course, is more likely if it's in a live setting. So still might be pre-recorded content, but you're all going through it together. There's a community, there's some live support from you. So I hope that helps to explain it a bit more. Okay, can you go over step 2 in more detail? What was step 2? So the 3 mistakes, is it the 3 mistakes, or what was the second thing I talked about? I'm trying to think, where was our little list? So it was what it really takes to create and launch an online course. That was the first thing. Can you share which bit? Would you mean the 3 mistakes? Create a list. Create a list. Create a list. Create an email list. Oh God, lots of things coming in now. Consistency and persistence. Okay, consistency. Is that what you mean? Consistency. Oh, I think that's what we're talking about here. Oh God, lots of things coming in. Is there anything further to know about the second mistake was not being consistent and persistent? Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry guys. Clicking it now, it's clicking. Clicking back into action. Yeah, I think consistency. So I think that's what we're talking about here. So consistency is about, it's not enough to just have a goal. Okay, it's not enough just to have a goal in our business, i.e. we want the goal to be, you know, to create a course, to create an online course. You know, we need to set up habits in our business that basically things that we're doing every single day, things that we're chipping away at every single day. And even if you have 30 minutes to chip away at it, it all adds up, you know, it adds up. So, you know, I think, like, for instance, if you are going to create and launch an online yoga course, what's the first thing that we need to do? Can anyone remember what the first thing is that we need to do? Can anyone remember? What's the first thing that we need to do if we want to create and launch, build our community, Shay? Yeah, exactly. Grow our audience, Michelle, exactly. So if our goal then, our mini goal, yeah, our big vision, our big goal is that we want to create and launch our online yoga course. Our mini goal right now is we need to create and build our community, which actually isn't a mini goal. It's quite a big thing, right? It's a big thing, but we're going to work on that now. So we need to create little habits every single day that's going to allow us to work towards that goal. So, for instance, one of the ways that we're going to grow our community is, as Jill has just written here, build our email list. So Jill has been to a lot of my recent trainings. You've been paying attention, well done. But, you know, we need to build our email list. So in order to do that, there's a number of things that we need to do. You know, the first thing is we need to set up our email service provider. That might be MailChimp, MailerLite, ConvertKit, whichever software we choose to use. So that's the first thing we need to do. The second thing is we need to create a freebie, an opt-in freebie, a lead magnet, in order to give something valuable to people in exchange for their email list. The third thing we need to do is we need to start sharing that everywhere. You know, we need to be like a broken record. If we don't sound like a broken record, we're not doing it correctly. Yeah, we need to be showing up consistently, sharing our freebie everywhere that we are, because people don't see it. You know, you might feel like a broken record, but trust me, if you've shared it 10 times in a week, someone's only seen it once. So we need to be, that's why it goes back to persistence and consistency, okay? So these things need to become habits in our business. These things need to become daily habits that we're working on our business. We're not just out there teaching, but we're actually blocking time out in our calendar to work on these things in our business that's going to allow us to move forward. And as I said, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, those things compound over time. Okay, so hopefully that helps to explain the consistency aspect a bit more. Really, it's about showing up. This is about showing up for our bigger dreams, for what we really want. And if we really feel like right now we're hustling and we're bustling and it's like, you know, we're struggling to pay the bills because we are really just stuck in the studio and we want to change that, then the first step there is to really look at your schedule and be like, and I know it's a bit different right now with the pandemic, but let's say prior pandemic, or let's say we're moving into next year and we're back in that studio model scenario, we need to be looking at our schedule and be saying to ourselves, okay, where am I gonna, you know, lose $20 or $30 here and there, but actually that class isn't serving me. It's not lighting me up when I have to travel an hour across town to go and teach that class. Can I lose it, but actually save for myself 3 hours, let's say, and those 3 hours can be spent working on my business? Yeah, they are the decisions that we need to take. Yeah, they're the decisions. So this is about showing up and creating impact. Showing up and creating impact. So we'll finish up today unless there's any other questions, but I want everyone to finish up by just sharing in the comment box, I create impact. I create impact. We're creating impact in our lives and in the lives of our students.
Kelly, there was one other question that popped up over in the Q&A that I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course we're getting towards 2 o'clock here, so we'll kind of wrap things up here.
Yeah,
but I want to make sure
I've got it.
And it's a very simple.
Evergreen.
Yes, please.
What is evergreen? Yeah, okay. So we have live launches and we have evergreen launches. Evergreen launches are basically for courses that are kind of home study. So for instance, you could go onto the Digital Yoga Academy website and you can enroll on a course that's Build Your Yoga Website with WordPress. And you can enroll on that course and you'll get immediate access to it and you'll work through the content on your own. It's a home study course. It's available all year round. Now, chances are you may have come to that course because you've accessed one of my freebies. So let's say you've been on, let's explain it like this. So I get really excited about this. I get really excited about explaining marketing concepts. I'm such a geek. Okay, so basically what you've done is you've created a piece of content, which is about, it's a blog post, and it's why we should develop a home meditation practice. Okay, so let's say you've just created a blog post on that, and you've shared that blog post on Facebook, in a Facebook group, okay, where your ideal clients are hanging out. And someone's seen that and they've clicked on that blog post and now they've landed on your website, on your yoga website, and they want to read why they should be cultivating a meditation practice. And on that blog page, they've seen a little pop-up box or a little opt-in box to a freebie of download my 3-part meditation series, okay? And so they're interested in meditation. You're speaking to them, you're speaking their language because you understand your ideal student. You've done that work to understand them. So they give you their email address and now they're in your marketing funnel. Now you have an opportunity to begin a relationship with them, which if they have found you on social media, there's a million things happening on social media, on Instagram, in the feed. They're likely to just sift by, okay? So now they're on your email list and you can send them information about meditation, and maybe they're going to get a sequence of emails. Maybe they'll get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 emails over a period of time. And on that 5th email, you're going to tell them about your meditation course. Okay. Some people will move into that meditation course. Not everybody will. And that's why it's a funnel. Okay. We lose people along the way, but some people will move into that meditation course with you. So that's how that works. That's like an evergreen model where you have that automated email sequence that's happening all the time, but you're still doing the work to show up in Facebook groups and online to share your lead magnet, to share information, to share your blog posts, and to be visible, to move people onto your website. This is why having a website is so, so important. You can start that conversation with people. So that's essentially what an evergreen model is, you know, but this is why it's not passive. There's still work that has to be done in order for that to happen. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you guys. Lots of you creating impact. I love it. Oh, wow. Look at this. Sanjeet, I've created impact for 40 years. This is a new level of teaching with me at age 81. High five. That's amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well done, you. That's incredible. You are creating impact.
That's fantastic. That's do we see any other questions coming in? It looks like we may have answered most of them. And I will say, if any other questions do come in, whether they're now, you know, we will look through all of them and go back and make sure that we didn't miss any of them and answer those questions as best we can and send them out. If there are any further questions after this, which I imagine could come up, feel free. You can always reach out to me. You can find Kelly. You know, delighted to answer anything that we can. And just a reminder, you know, Kelly in Digital Yoga Academy came with a great offering to this program. So make sure you take a look at that link, look at her products and services. You know, she's second to none in this realm of helping folks get to move to a successful online business. So, you know, very privileged to have you, Kelly. Thank you so much for sharing your time and insight today. What a valuable topic, what valuable information, and just really appreciate this wonderful relationship we've built together, and look forward to seeing more that we can do together.
Yeah, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate it as well, Joe. Thank you for having me. And thank you to you guys for showing up here today and learning, investing in yourself and your business. It's so, so incredible. Keep doing it. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. We will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Bye.